Yeah, it's not located on any map. It's located right here. Right here. Capital M, capital T, MensTown. There's trust and friendship between men. There's no deals going south. There's no lawyers there. Only real men. And a few good dogs.
Football season is back. By the time this episode comes out, there will be multiple preseason games that have already been played, which
Week 1 preseason will be done. Week 2 will be halfway through, and it's just from there. Just got to figure out what goes on.
yeah. Florida State plays next weekend. As you all know, I'm a Florida State grad. Baker went for a little bit as well.
Yep.
So he pulls for him. So it's good to be back in the
Sunshine State.
well, that and arguably the best time of year. Football season.
Start of football season. Absolutely.
Fall, crisp air. Well, maybe not here.
No, it's wet air. It's humid as shit.
Yeah, gets too hot here. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about how we both think a first round of fantasy football should go in a 12-man league. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about Olympic recap. You want to go ahead and kick that off for us there, Bake?
Steph Curry went belligerent to end that game. But
Yo,
yeah.
put some respect on Joel Embiid's name, too. Y'all crapping on my boy.
Yeah, it's the first time he made it through a full playoffs
without
injured and actually getting out of the first round. I mean, respect on Joel Embiid's name for not having to carry a team.
Yeah.
Having no role and responsibility besides guard Jokic.
They got Paul George now? Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Philly, but we'll have a breakdown of the NBA season when we get to the NBA season.
They got two dudes made of glass out there. Congratulations, Philly. You are not going to win a ring for a very long time. But yeah, Steph Curry went
belligerent.
Went crazy. I think he had 36 against Serbia, and then literally put lights out to France that last gold-winning game.
I think it was 4 consecutive threes, something like
that. I'm not gonna lie, France had me shaking a little bit.
Serbia did too. Serbia had the lead.
That Serbia game was the best basketball game I probably have ever watched, other than the 2006 finals with LeBron on the Heat, where Ray Allen saved him.
That was not the 2006 finals.
Was that 2009?
That was 2009. Wade won it in 2006 with Shaq.
That's right. I thought, was Bron not on the 2006 team?
Nah, he was. I remember vividly watching him lose. I think it was even 10 was his first year in Miami, because the Magic played the Lakers in the finals in 2009, and I remember him losing to the Magic in that playoff run.
Yeah. One of those years. Aside from that game, that was...
Olympics were fun, man. I enjoyed watching all of it. I watched a fair amount of both the indoor volleyball for men's and women's, and the beach was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Beach, they bowed out pretty early. Soccer, women won again. Felt like they got a good result.
Scriptwriters in their bag with the USA men's and women's basketball team both playing France and winning gold.
Yeah, scriptwriters were deep in that one.
Deep in their bag. We did come out on top. We tied with China with medals, right? It was like
gold medals. We tied. We won the overall medal count.
We still reign as the best country in the world. USA, baby.
What do you think about all Noah Lyles' comments?
I think Tyreek Hill beats him in a foot race.
You think? I think so too. I think it's real close, but I think
it's very close. I don't like Noah Lyles. I think he's a punk. I know a lot of people like him. I know my brother likes him.
I think he has a high amount of arrogance, and it's like Usain Bolt is the clear GOAT there, and you're nowhere close to touching him.
He's like the Josh Norman of running.
That's a great way to describe that.
Yeah, he's like the Josh Norman.
Like he's won a little bit, but like
he's like great at shit talking.
Yeah,
obviously there's some talent there. I mean,
fastest man in the world over 100 meters currently.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill has his hat in the ring.
Still won bronze with COVID, which is crazy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Maybe he was just faking that. I don't know.
We have no idea. I say allegedly to a lot.
Dude's a stud. I mean, yeah, absolutely stud. I mean, I have respect for him. He was lights out. But I do think Tyreek Hill could give him a run for his money.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun foot race to watch at least.
Then again, Tyreek didn't race Speed. Remember Speed wanted to race him?
Oh, yeah. When Speed was at the Dolphins training camp, there were a couple clips from that stream where they would see his first 2 or 3 steps and they would stop running.
Yeah. Speed's, I mean, his name's Speed for a reason. Maybe because he acts like he's on speed, but dude can cook. And Tyreek, I think Tyreek was kind of scared of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, Olympics, man. It was a fun year. I'm looking forward to the, was it in L.A.?
L.A. in 28. No idea where winter is. Only winter Olympic that matters is the hockey.
Well, I like surfboarding, snowboarding.
Snowboarding's fun, but in the end of the day, you skip school to watch some of the hockey stuff.
Yeah. What is a Winter Olympics every 4 years or every 2?
Each Olympic is every 4 years.
Okay.
So summer and winter rotate. Correct.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I still like the Summer Olympics better. I watched a lot of the Olympics this year.
I did too.
A lot of it.
I did too.
I hate how a lot of the events came on so early, like in the morning. But
it is 5 hours ahead. So most of the events were over and you had to watch replays.
Yeah. So that'll be cool in 4 more years if we're still doing this.
Hopefully by this time we've made so much money we don't have to film a podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's the realistic
on
goal.
A rinky-dinky laptop today.
On one of the weirdest setups at episode 5, but it can only go uphill from here.
We tried to...
it didn't work.
Yeah,
you can't read those names.
We tried, yeah. Sorry in advance. We're going to probably point it.
We're going to be pointing so that we have it memorized, but you guys will hear it, and we might type it out on the edit. Probably not.
Probably not.
So with
fantasy
football, we're looking at a 12-man PPR, which is the most common fantasy setup that people use. If you use 10, teams are too good.
Yeah,
if you don't use a PPR, quarterbacks are overpowered, and there's no point to have anything besides Patrick Mahomes at the 1-1 pick. So,
or if you're Tyler Evans, I'm sorry, Tyler, Bryce Young.
I mean, if you're Tyler Evans and you're listening to this, take notes, buddy. Last year was a showing for you.
And not a very good one.
No,
you started off strong, but you did not end.
You started off 0-4.
Didn't you used to like that fantasy football show? What was it called? The
DDG?
League? No.
Oh, the League? Yeah, the League was decent. I think, I don't know.
I love that show.
I don't even know if I finished that show. I think I watched the first 3 seasons of it, and it was just the same thing every year.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
it was solid.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It was solid.
Kind of want to watch it.
It's worth it.
By the way, if it seems like I'm lagging behind a little bit, it's because I had about 30 beers yesterday when I saw Zach Bryan in concert. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
Bake was a good boy. I did not drink yesterday. I was home. I read my Bible. I did not do anything unscrupulous yesterday.
Yeah, so a little hair of the dog right now is I'm just trying to suck this one down so I can just be back. The boys on a little struggle bus this morning. But, nonetheless, we're up and we're moving around. So, let's get this episode kicked off, man. Let's talk about some fantasy football. Baker has laid out his...
So, we're going to be jumping between 2 screens, so you're going to see it move back and forth here. And so, I have mine as Christian McCaffrey at the 1-1, and it's one of the ones that Jay and I match on, which might be one of the only ones that we match on. I mean, he averaged like 18 or something like that last year.
If you're not picking Christian McCaffrey
at 1-1, you are legitimately just throwing away your league.
Yeah,
you're just throwing it away.
Let's be real here, guys. Christian McCaffrey is a godsend in fantasy, and I think he gets his first ring this year. Hot take. Thoughts, comments, suggestions? I'm open for debate about this.
As a Bucs fan, I have hope that we get through the NFC.
I love the Bucs Stadium.
I love the Bucs Stadium. Really good vibes there. It is hot as hell for a 1 o'clock, though.
Oh my god, bro!
You went to a concert there last night.
It was ridiculous. We tailgated in that big ass field that they have out there. That was dope.
Yeah,
that was
really, really a college football tailgating field.
It felt like I was back at Florida State.
Yeah. It really has that kind of feel where it's just the huge open space, truck after truck, 10 after 10, just
Beer
you're going
after
from
beer.
one place to another, stealing from someone else's cooler.
Yeah, I feel to the dude that cooked those glizzies yesterday, you are a godsend. I owe you some glizzies, but I'm not going to pay you, brother.
No. That memo request is getting denied.
They were good. But go ahead, Big. Sorry.
So, Jay at number 2 has Tyreek, where I have CeeDee Lamb.
I think CD's a question mark for me right now.
I think he gets the contract done, and I think he gets on the field. And with Miami having Waddle, I think that always can be the thing that takes away from Tyreek. And I also think that Miami's running game is way more established.
They got A-Chain back this year.
And they still have the other guy who broke the touchdown record last year.
Yep.
But
you also got to remember, Tyreek and, what's his face?
Waddle
were played together last year. But you're right.
Played together last year.
Run game. I still think Tyreek is, if not the best wide receiver in the league right now. Second best, maybe.
I think he's the best fantasy receiver in the league. I think second best points-wise this year because I think Dallas just doesn't have any other options besides go to CD every down.
That's true. For you Cowboy fans,
it still won't go well. You guys are out in the first round, but it will look really good at 11-5 like it always does. It's going to be Dallas's year, and then you guys are going to somehow just lose a sad one again, as always.
And it sucks because I like Dak. I think he puts up numbers.
I hate Dak.
He's definitely I've had him in fantasy a couple different times. He puts up numbers. He really
I think
does. He's just
has only cracked top 10 during the regular season. Outside of that,
well,
I don't even know if I can say top 10 for Dak.
Well, there's not a lot of good quarterbacks in the league.
I don't know. I don't think Dak's top 10.
I don't think so either. At this point, no. If he has a good year this year,
I'd make argument. I don't think he gets paid. Why would Dallas pay him? He can't clutch up in playoffs, which does hurt CD. But during the regular season, Dak Prescott looks like prime Brady at times.
Yeah, it does.
But he gets to the playoffs and he pissed down his leg.
He does do that.
Yeah. All right. At number 3, I went bold. I took Breece Hall. I think he's the second best running back in the offense that he's in. Yeah. I think it's just safe. I think it's consistent. I think he's going to have a good blend to be able to do everything he needs to there.
I think I took the same. Yeah, no, I took.
No, that's where
CD.
You went CD.
I took CD at 3
because you went Tyreek real high.
Yeah, because I went Tyreek at 2. Tyreek had a great year for me last year. I do like CD. I like I said, I think he's a question mark for me, just with the contract and stuff. But
I think he gets on the field. Jerry Jones doesn't go into that season without it. Yeah. He made some bold comments, but he won't back those up.
Wilson Jones is dead. Jerry Jones.
I went Jamar Chase at 4, where he went Breece Hall. I think that Jamar Chase had a boost last year. I think Joe Burrow, new haircut, new hairdo. I think that's the thing. Yeah. I just think that's going to gel, and we're going to see the Bengals back to where they were when they made that playoff push.
I hope so, because I do like Joe Burrow. And
Joe
I do
Douglas
like Jamar.
Dangerous.
I like Jamar Chase, too. I think that's a good pick. What did I have at 4?
You had Breece Hall at 4.
I had Breece Hall at 4. Breece Hall I think he's due for a breakout year. He had a great year last year, but I think this is his year to just absolutely show people what he can do. And I even had him in fantasy last year. He showed out.
Yeah.
So
in 5, that's where I went Tyreek.
Okay.
Because I think with the selection in Miami, I think they have to be a different kind of offense. Because they can put up huge numbers, but they stall quickly.
Yeah.
It's like they take the big shot, then a bad running play, and then they're back to a big shot on third, and they can stall out. And so I think there has to be more consistency of the dink and dunk game with them, and that's why I have Tyreek dropping, because we don't know how Miami's dink and dunk game works, where when Tyreek was in Kansas City, the dink and dunk game was 15 to 87, and that was simple.
Didn't Tua throw for the most yards last year?
Yeah, that's because Tyreek, legitimately, his route was run fast, get open, and so Tua throwing for the most yards was like Jameis having the most touchdowns. He had 31 touchdowns.
30 picks.
30 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw 5,000 yards that year. But it's not a. I don't know if it's a genuine
wild comparison to Jameis to Tyreek, bro. That is
it was Jameis to Tua. They both have one concussion away from them being iconic. I mean,
I think Jameis has had one too many concussions.
Yeah, I mean, Tua was throwing up gang signs on the field 2 years ago while seeing his ancestors.
That's terrible.
So I had Tyreek at 5. You had. If this loads.
This computer's lagging a little bit. It's okay. It's hungover as well.
Justin Jefferson at 5. And I think I'm scared of Justin Jefferson at 6 even, which is my next pick, because of J.J. McCarthy going and doing meniscus surgery.
Yeah.
And that might be a season.
I mean, that's.
Sam Darnold.
Justin Jefferson's going to get his, brother.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I don't have much hope in Sam Darnold. But. I do like Justin Jefferson.
I love Justin Jefferson. If he had him, I was considering 4th or 3rd.
Well, that's like Devontae Adams. I mean, who's throwing to him now? He's still going to get his. And take a look at Garrett.
Quarterback in Vegas.
I have no idea. Take a look at Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson got his last year. And who was his quarterback?
Yeah, he got his. He was real young.
Well, now take a look. You got Aaron Rodgers back in the fold.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson's going to be the number 1 target.
Yeah.
So
totally agree.
I
think Garrett Wilson is way more dangerous, but I think we just need to see, and that's why going into fantasy drafts, Justin Jefferson for me is scary at 6. But
I think he doesn't fall past that though.
You
could argue that he could potentially fall to like 8 or 7, but I don't think
it just depends on how much fear. I mean, you need one Vikings fan and him to go 3rd. I mean, it just depends on what's in your league.
That's true. What are we on, 6 now?
Yeah, so 6 is where I went Justin Jefferson. 6 is where you went Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Which
is he's a dog. He's going to have a great year this year.
I mean, honestly, if he ever met you, he might hit you.
Probably.
Because you took him at 6. I mean, he's writing down everyone's name about any list he's not number 1 on.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's for a good reason. He's a good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and he keeps climbing. A couple years ago, he was a value 3rd-round pick. Yeah. So he keeps climbing.
He had a good year last year, too.
Yeah. At 7, I went Bijan Robinson.
I don't even think I had Bijan on my list. Did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I took Bijan at 7 as well.
Yes, you went Bijan, same spot at 7.
Yeah.
I just, with everything that's happening there, I think London Drake and Kirk Cousins link up. I think also Bijan's one of the most dynamic running backs at...
Atlanta's got weapons now.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Didn't they just acquire Christian Kirk as well?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So they got... Who's the tight end? The big tight end? Number 8. What's his name?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
They have Christian Kirk. They have Drake London. They have
now
Bijan. Bijan was there last year.
But he
was a little awkward last year. And I think it was injuries, but it was also the offensive scheme didn't really work.
He's coming into himself for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Desmond Ritter's not leading
come into
that
myself. Huh? Number 8.
You went Jamseer Chase. I have not heard of this player.
Jamseer Chase. I can't type, all right?
I went Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I think that at being the people are going to want to stabilize a little bit in running back, take the bigger names as they come up. And I think you could kind of get a coin flip here at 7-8 for me. And between Bijan, Amon-Ra, and you could even throw my 9 pick, Saquon, in there.
That's an interesting pick. I think he falls later.
I don't think so. I think that with it being the Eagles' offense, I understand Jason Kelce isn't there, but it also there's so much more desire to move away from the tush push because you don't have Jason Kelce at that center.
See, I made the mistake of taking DeAndre Swift last year. DeAndre Swift only got so many touches a game because you got a guy like Jalen Hurts who's running the ball every time he can.
Yeah, but I also think
the ball off. Jalen's just running it.
But Saquon can be the A-gap running back. He can be between the tackles, really just downhill where I don't think Swift can be. I think Swift wants to get wide a little bit and cut back in and have the open field where I think Saquon can go and get 5 yards easy.
I hope I'm proved wrong with that because I do like Saquon and I do think he deserves a ring, especially after all that New York crap.
You went Puka.
Yeah, Puka. Now this. I think my next 3 picks you can kind of interchange with each other. Realistically, I want to take Garrett Wilson there or the 10th spot, but I think you can kind of just do what you want with the 9th, 10th, and 11th. I think Puka's going to be a good pick this year. I like Puka. He had a great year last year. Or was it 2 years ago?
It was last year. He was a rookie last year.
Yeah, last year. I think he's just going to do it all over again this year. Stafford's still a quarterback, no?
Yeah, but you're going to have a fully healthy Cooper Kupp, and now the running back there has solidified the position.
I think Puka's solidified his position as well.
You think he's clear wide receiver 1 over Cooper Kupp?
I think it's going to be like a Tyreek and...
but Tyreek's clear of Jalen Waddle as wide receiver 1.
Right.
But Puka
we'll have to see because Cooper Kupp was injured last year.
Yeah, that's what
we'll see. It's
Puka
be
blew up because that was the only way, or that's the only place Stafford could put that ball.
Yeah. I mean that's true, but we'll see. I mean, I hope he has another great year.
I think he's going to have a great year. I think,
and I love his name.
Yeah,
Puka.
His younger brother is now in college or just went to the NFL, something like that.
Yeah,
and that's a waiver wire week 1 sort of deal.
Yeah.
If he can do the same thing. You went A.J. Brown at 10. I went A.J. Brown at 10.
Yeah, I think our next 3 are kind of the same.
This is my biggest blow it up moment is I went back-to-back Eagles players. And I think that is one of the spots where you can kind of see a lot of change from 9 through 12 for me.
Well, I got to take notes on this because I had the 10th pick this year in the draft, and I'm not necessarily very happy about it.
I'm up here at 4, and I'm not convinced. I also have your dad ahead of me. So your dad is ahead of me. So there's an outside chance that your dad takes Jordan Travis, and I could end up with anything over here.
That's true.
And so I really...
dude, don't sleep on Dad. Dad does his research. Dad will do his research.
He does do his research, and it drives me insane that there's just these rogue moments, but I'm happy that the biggest possible moment he is, because he's realizing that quarterback in rounds 1 through 4, people don't trade for him. Yeah. And that it's a really fun growing moment. Well, but we're in a 10-man.
And we're also in a money league.
And we're in a money league.
So he's learning. He's got to take it serious.
The $20 that it is.
Yeah, the $20 money league.
Yeah, we bumped it up by a lot.
We're going to bump it again next year. Probably
100.
Probably do 100. This is grand, by the way.
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
we only grand.
Absolutely. Can you loan me?
Yeah.
So we're going to when we bump it up to $100, we're going to add 2 more people in. Make sure we have 12 people. Make sure we are really trying to.
It's tough because some of the guys that we've had in the league, and I love you, Mike, and I am going to shout you out and I'm going to shout out Ryan too. I love you, buddy, but every single year you beg me to be in my money league. You beg me to be in my fantasy league. And then I get you in there and you don't even show up to the draft.
Yeah, then I get an auto draft.
Like my brother in Christ. What are you doing?
If Tim can show up, then Ryan, you got to be there. It's just I can't have it where Tim's in there and he's at least trying.
And you beg me to be in the league and you don't even show up. Like, come on, guy, what's going on here?
Yeah,
I love you. And Mike, you just didn't even.
Well, Mike's a good team player. He put in his money. He got out of the way. He didn't try waivers. He didn't burn spots. He didn't. I didn't mind it. I'm happy.
Show up. I mean, he didn't do anything. He didn't set his lineups.
He didn't beg. We put him in the league. It was everyone got free layups. It wasn't like I
think he beat me one week.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Is like
I did win it all last year. Hey, 2 times in a row. We're also going to get a trophy made up. It's going to be a butt plug.
I had the clear better team, but we had a 2-week playoff, and my 2 worst weeks of the whole season were in the final against him. But I think I did have a better team.
You were beating me, I think, the first week.
No. The first week, it was 50 to 122, and I had nowhere I could come back because it was a 2-week. And
that's right. You came in second, right?
I came in second. I lost to you in that.
Landon, this is our year, baby. We say that every year. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be
Landon might not be the safe GM. We keep sending him the money to hold it. I don't know if you got your payout. I did not get mine from last year.
He didn't pay you?
No, I did not, and I paid again this year. This year, I think we're doing all or nothing.
Yeah, we're doing all or nothing. We did first and second place last year.
I did not get that $10 back.
Landon gets some. You want another beer?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Hold on. Time out. Beer break. What am I turning on?
No more.
Landon does some interesting stuff in some of his fantasy leagues that he's in.
Oh, thank God you
We
said
are
fantasy.
sponsored by
Littler Might, because we're not allowed to use the branding.
Yeah, that's an M. Might. In Arabic. So Landon does some interesting things for his fantasy drafts or fantasy leagues that he's in. I think he's in like a 12
He's in a
man.
14.
He is in a 14. He's in a 14, a 12, and a 10.
And they base it off of they do their draft based off of a middle school race that they all show up to and watch the kids.
It's elementary school.
Oh, it's even worse.
No, they do. So the way, I think one year, he switches it up. One year they did they picked a racer for NASCAR.
Yep.
And whatever position that guy finished in, that's how they would draft.
Yeah, I think you picked your draft spot. So how your guy finished, you picked where you picked in the league.
Yeah, you take Dale Earnhardt, and somebody takes Jeff Gordon. Was it Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon? That was a big rivalry in NASCAR.
Yeah,
it was Dale Jr.
The
right?
older one's dead.
Yeah. That was what a great rivalry. But they took these racers.
A lot of left turns.
And, yeah.
By the way, we do have IndyCar koozies on for the beers. Way better racing over at IndyCar. It's just exponentially better. You actually turn right in that sport, so which you do not see at all on the NASCAR circuit.
I think these money leagues that Landon's in, I think he does some of them get prizes for the most points.
Yeah, I think
in a week, a week.
Yeah, I think it's I think at the end of the season they look at most total weeks with highest points, and we could be very wrong. We're not Landon, obviously, not that handsome.
I wish, dude.
And then I think they also do a total points on the season. So whoever has most points on the season.
I think they do a first and last place prize, if I'm not mistaken.
Last place prize is you have to go and introduce yourself to all the parents at the track meet that decided the draft order.
Hey, I've been watching your daughter or your son race.
A real fast one out there.
Yeah.
Oh, which is your kid? None of them.
Oh man, no! I actually kind of like that though, because you could purposely have a shit draft, try to draft the worst players possible.
Yeah, and get a prize.
And try to.
You just might be tanking FC.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to our picks. Where we have 11 and 12 left.
11 and 12. I have Jonathan Taylor. I think they're going to stabilize with Anthony Richardson. I think Jonathan Taylor can have one more good year and go get paid somewhere. And Garrett Wilson for me is the breakout year for him with one more contract year after this, and you just have it switched.
We have them flip-flopped, yeah.
It's really, depending, at 11 and 12, you have a lot of versatility if you're in a snake draft, because you can just flip right back around, and you can either go great wide receiver core or a running back receiver or double running back and be pretty dangerous there.
You know what I noticed about fantasy the past 2 years? It's becoming really wide receiver dominant.
We're in a PPR. And so you do get points per reception.
Right.
I personally like a half-point PPR because...
Is that not what we do?
No, we do a full point. We used to do a lot of half points with Southgate, which is how they still do that. But with a full point PPR, then you get a lot more receiver dominant. But if you go to a half point, then that running back role is much more balanced, where obviously reception, you don't get any points for each carry. So
yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to this year. We have our draft coming up the 30th of August this month. So we're hoping to get this episode out
Saturday. Might get pushed back to Sunday depending on when you get back to South Carolina.
Yeah, Yeah, so we're hoping to get it out, but you guys let us know what you guys think. I know a lot of people have already drafted. We decided to wait a little bit this year just because of injuries.
I think a lot of people also, some people do it before preseason, then you have like the either 1 week after, like that gap week where we're drafting in between preseason week 3 and week 1.
Yeah.
And then there's also, because a lot of people used to draft after the third preseason game. And I think that was really the sweet spot, but I'm much happier that we removed a preseason game to add on an extra week.
They just need to get rid of preseason, to be honest with you.
No, I think you need a couple because you have a lot of guys trying to make the league in there.
That's true.
And so I think you need, I think what we saw, I mean, the Bucks, because I watched part of theirs, so that's the only example I can really give you. Their first round pick played 18 snaps, and that was it. He played 2 offensive drives. He was done, but like you had other guys, linebacker out of Florida State, who is now on the Bucks trying to make the roster. He played a fair share of snaps, and it really did improve his chances of being able to make the roster. So I think preseason is still important for that.
Well, unless you're the Panthers and you don't play anybody.
I mean, or if you're the Panthers and you just decide to trade away your first round picks.
Because our GM is a genius.
I mean, thank you for hiring Dave Canales. It took away all the pressure on the Bucks for having to make a decision around Dave Canales. And you guys took an offensive coordinator that had like the 20th best offense and said, this is our head coach. So it saved us.
It's not too bad out there in Carolina. All right?
No.
But nonetheless, I have faith that we will win at least 2 games this year.
You got 2? What are those 2?
Last year, 1?
I think it was 2. You guys get 2?
I think we got 1 last year. I don't know.
You guys came close against the Bucks.
I don't know.
You guys had a lot of close games.
How are you boys going to be?
I think we win the division.
I like Baker. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The Falcons, though.
After what I saw from Baker Mayfield last year, I would let Baker.
But it's a new offense again.
Yeah.
So, like, there was the offense that Dave Canales ran. Now you have the new offense under kind of – it almost felt – it was the same offensive coordinator that Baker had for that short time in L.A. He really liked that offense, and then that guy shows up here, and Baker drove into the facility first day to say hi to that guy. And so no one was supposed to be there. It was just him coming in, signing his contract. Baker showed up to say hi. So I think that's a good sign. I'm hoping that we can just see stability across the board.
Yeah.
And Todd Bowles has to figure out our secondary. We did bring back some key pieces that had left. We were on back. Jordan Whitehead. Have the best safety in the league, Antoine Winfield Jr. Got screwed on the All-Pro team. Screwed. So
I think you guys are going to be fine.
I think they win. I think the expectations win the division, win a playoff game. I think the Falcons are making it interesting, but they have a lot of new pieces to really try to figure that out. And Kirk Cousins is unpredictable because he's one bad tackle away from both knees just rupturing.
Good thing they drafted Penis.
They did. And it might be the stability thing, but you did throw $180 million down the toilet on Kirk Cousins to get that deal done.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know what they're doing out in Atlanta, but hey.
More effective than Carolina.
Yeah, they might be onto something out there. I don't know. But, yeah, episode 5, Bake, you want to add anything else?
Yeah, give me your top 5 fantasy quarterbacks.
Oh, God, dude, don't make me do this. Top five, dude, there's not. I said this at the beginning of the episode. I don't think that there's many good quarterbacks in the league right now.
I think
obviously Pat Mahomes is number 1.
Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Lamar Jackson, yes. Joe Burrow, yes.
No Josh Allen?
Josh Allen, yes.
Now I got to think of all the quarterbacks.
And then it starts falling off for me. Because I don't put Matthew Stafford up there anymore.
No.
I don't put Dak Prescott up there.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't put
no Deshaun, no Trevor.
No Deshaun.
Tua.
No Trevor, no Tua, not yet.
I don't think he'll ever be able to get into that conversation.
Well, I think he has the potential to be a good quarterback, but just got to stay healthy.
Got to stay healthy and also got to win.
Yeah.
You can't go to the playoffs and lose.
They get blown out. Didn't they get their shit stomped on by Kansas City?
Yeah, I think they also had a cold
17
game.
to 9 or something like that.
I think they had a cold game, which is really hard. I mean, you're Miami and you have to go play in 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Tyreek's the only one that's used to that.
That's true.
So, I don't know.
Who else? Bryce Young? Nope.
No, he won't get a new contract.
Who else?
I mean, you have a couple of young guys that are right on that cusp. I think Jordan Love with another good year can catapult himself up. CJ Stroud is on the cusp where he can break in.
Stroud,
Anthony Richardson
Stroud
was
up there right now. I put Stroud up there.
Absolutely. You put him in the 5?
No, not 5. Not top
no,
5.
I think you kind of have like 3 or 4 young guys that really they're. Anthony Richardson showed us great things in Indy for the first 2 weeks, and then
he got hurt.
Then he was out for the season.
Yeah.
And so I think he's now 1 season behind CJ Stroud, but he's 2. So I think he is massive.
He's a big boy.
He can put the ball up 70 yards in the air.
He can run the ball, too.
I hate that he's from UF, but he is an impressive human being.
He is impressive.
He just said that he could beat LeBron in a dunk contest if it happened tomorrow. Given LeBron has not gotten off of French wine since the gold medal, and Anthony Richardson's currently going through preseason, and there are 16 to 17 years of age difference there, he might have a chance. Nah, it's fake. LeBron's winning that. LeBron could go out there in slides and win that.
LeBron was created in a laboratory. I'm convinced. There's no other explanation for that.
Well, I think that this episode was informative. I learned something. You learned something.
Maybe
Landed
you
my
guys
diddle
learned
kids. We gotta go. All right.
These beers are starting to hit.
Guys, that was great. We might have another little update for you at 1 a.m. See what happens.
Yeah, we might record another episode at 1 a.m.
That happens. We're going to be tarps off. So
I don't know what that means, but I hope it's naked.
No shirts.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Well,
MensTown Roundtable episode 5.
Imagine this circle.
This is a circular table. And we are sponsored by Lillard Mite.
Yep.
So, like, comment, subscribe. Guys, we got to get these numbers up. We started off really strong. I know we kind of took a couple
weeks off, but we're gonna be consistent for you.
Yeah, Bake and I are going to start recording
once a week.
We're going to get our schedule back down packed because Chase and I are recording. But Chase is...
Still haven't heard from him.
No, I've heard from him.
I have not.
I don't know what he's doing.
I think he's mad at me. That's okay.
I don't know. But episode 5.
Love you, Chase.
Love you, Chase. Love you, Landon. We know you don't diddle kids. Did we know that? All right. Thank you, guys. Until next time.
Good luck. Have fun.
All right.